Folks, remember how in early 2023 we got involved with the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race because Wisconsin has elections to decide who's on its Supreme Court, right? This community and many others, admittedly, were instrumental in getting elected a left-leaning judge to the state Supreme Court, predominantly for one reason, though there were many, many other reasons, but predominantly one of the big ones was to end the gerrymandering electoral map in Wisconsin. Well, I am proud to say that the reformed maps in Wisconsin have been upheld. There is now no longer any gerrymandering in the state of Wisconsin, which means in 2024 we can expect some drastically different results going forward. Because basically, Wisconsin was known as the gerrymandered state. It was one of the most, maybe not the most, but one of the most gerrymandered states in the entire country in favor of Republicans. And it's pretty great. Let's just take a quick look at this article from the AP. Came out just today. Wisconsin Republican leader slams Democrats' proposed election maps as political gerrymander, which is very rich considering, again, under Republicans, they gerrymandered the state so hard that it took like 3 votes, 3 Democratic votes to equal in weight 2 Republican votes. Like, it was ridiculous, dude. Wisconsin powerful Republican Assembly leader said Tuesday that he hopes the liberal-controlled state Supreme Court adopts new constitutional legislative boundary maps, even as he slammed proposals from Democrats as a political gerrymander and threatened an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. The court tossed Republican-drawn maps, long considered among the country's most favorable to the GOP, and ordered new maps that do not favor one party over another. It said that if the legislature doesn't adopt the maps, the court will. Which basically means that, like, the legislature has the opportunity to, adopt the maps, or the maps can be enforced by court order. Which means, essentially, the state Supreme Court is telling the Republican Assembly to, essentially, shape up, or will make you get shaped up. That's definitely how the saying goes. Don't think about it too much. Moving on. Hey, Nurgpup, how you doing? Goodness. Democratic Assembly Minority Leader Greta Neubauer questioned Voss's sincerity. Quote, "We are always open to conversations with our colleagues, but have yet to be convinced by Republican legislators are serious about passing a fair and representative map, especially given the extreme gerrymander they submitted to the court on Friday," she said in a statement. So basically, even though they lost the state Supreme Court race, they still tried to submit extraordinarily gerrymandered maps in favor of the Republican Party. And now they're like feigning outrage that those maps were not adopted by the court. In a 4-3 ruling, the High Court said the current maps were unconstitutional because not all districts were comprised of a contiguous territory. Some districts included areas that weren't connected to the whole. So, like, basically, they would make maps, and, like, one district would be, like, 3 different disconnected areas, you know? That's essentially what they were doing in order to get the gerrymandered results that they wanted for the GOP. Since like 2010, it's been like almost 15 years of Wisconsin being gerrymandered to hell. Hello, Matt. Republican and Democratic lawmakers, along with Tony Evers, the governor, a conservative Wisconsin law firm, a liberal law firm that brought the redistricting lawsuit, a group of mathematics professors, and a redistricting consultant submitted new proposed maps on Friday. The map submitted by Republicans would maintain the current 64-35 GOP majority, while other maps would narrow it to as little as 1-seat Republican edge, according to an analysis by Marquette University Law School research fellow John D. Johnson. So basically, like that's why they're really upset. Okay? This is why Republicans are furious about these new proposed maps, because they're getting a 64-35 difference. You know, like a difference of what even is that? 29, right? A difference of 29 seats, and that's being reduced to a difference of 1 seat between the two parties in Wisconsin. It basically turns Wisconsin from a sure Republican stronghold into anyone could take it purple state. So this has huge ramifications for the next round of elections. Okay. Voss dismissed the maps submitted by Democrats, saying they would move too many boundary lines and force incumbent lawmakers to run against one another. He called them nothing more than a political gerrymander. Well, you know, maybe in order to have a little bit of fairness in the Wisconsin lawmaking department, they should run against each other. Oh no, whatever will we do aside from having to run against other politicians? That's crazy. You mean they'd do that? They'd make politicians argue for why they should keep their jobs? The horror. It could be the start of a Wisconsin progressive turn like Michigan got. Oh, 100%, dude. Like, between this and Wisconsin, like, we have the potential to shape, like, the next 20 years of politics if we can, like, solidify a progressive movement in those states. Yeah, Republicans have indicated they would argue that there were due process violations. Voss has also suggested that the appeal could argue that liberal Justice Janet Protasewicz, who was the justice we got elected, by the way, ayo, who called the current maps rigged and unfair during her run for office, should not have heard the case. She sided with the 3 other liberal justices in ordering new maps. Anyway, it's a good day for a W, all right? We got ourselves a W when we elected Judge Janet, and now she's actually delivering. She's delivering on one of her most important campaign promises, which is to undo the abysmal gerrymandering in the state. And frankly, I've had a lot of feelings about, like, of betrayal when it comes to having the races that, you know, I've been involved in and gotten you guys involved in. You know, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. That giant bald fucko. Like, it's just really nice to have a W that we can actually be proud of, you know? Like, if we actually are able to unfuck Wisconsin with this, that is a colossal win that sets us up for a long time in the future. Yes, I was talking about John Fetterman. Yes. Like, we played a pretty pivotal role in getting him elected, and he feels like such a betrayal.